Hey guys, this is Kelly with the Garden Whisperer. If you're unfamiliar with what I do, I design flower beds and garden beds for homeowners where they can either install it themselves or they can hire a landscaper if they're choosing to install it for them according to the design plans. So today's video, I am coughing because my allergies are in high gear today. I'm sneezing and I'm coughing. Anyway, so when you're starting out a garden bed, I highly recommend you get the soil tested because you don't want to add nutrients that it's already in high in. And if your soil is lacking nutrients, obviously you want to add what it's lacking. Most people just buy, fertilizer every spring and fertilize every spring, not knowing if you're actually, putting too much of a nutrient in your soil that is already high in that nutrient. That can actually be detrimental to your plants. So, with that being said, as you can see, I have holes all over this flower bed because I am taking soil samples. Now, the store-bought soil tests suck. Don't even waste your money. They don't give you accurate results. I did both that, and I also sent my soil samples to the local agricultural extension where they have a laboratory and they test the soil. Completely different results. And the laboratory test gives you details on what you need to add, how much you need to add per square footage, and it gives you a little graph of what your current soil has and what you need to do to amend it. So here's my soil test results from 2 years ago, and the only reason that I didn't do this last year was because I was still digging up both garden beds and getting the rock out. But this was the test before I actually started digging all the rock out. So you can see I'm very low in phosphate, potash, and calcium. Very high in magnesium, which makes sense because that's the rock. Rock will produce high levels of magnesium in your soil. And you can see the pH level is below optimum, which means it's more acidic than it is alkaline, which if you go all the way down here, you could see my soil pH is a 6.4, which is not horrible. The perfect soil pH is like a 7.0. So this isn't too bad. If your soil is like a 5.0, 5.5, you're highly acidic. So most plants will do just fine in some acidic soil, so I'm not too worried about that. So those are my test results. And then down right below it, I don't know if you can see it because it's hard for me to see, they give you the recommendations. So calcitic limestone I need 9 pounds per 100 square feet. Magnesium none because obviously we're really high. Gypsum none because gypsum is going to increase the acidity in your soil, so I don't need any of that. They did want me to put down a 5-10-10 fertilizer, which is nitrogen, phosphate, and potash. So as long as you have 5% nitrogen in your soil or 0.5 every spring, you're good to go. And that you can use using cow manure compost. And then they wanted me to use a 10% phosphate and 10% potash. And they also wanted me to use a triple phosphate as well, which is a 0.46.0. Because phosphate, I said, right? Yeah, okay. Because phosphate is the middle number, nitrogen is the first number, and potassium is the last number. So basically, I had to add to my other soil garden bed. I had to add the 5-10-10 fertilizer, calcitic limestone, and organic matter because it was just hard, dry clay and rock in the other garden bed. So this year, I'm doing this garden bed. I have not tested this yet, even though everything's planted and everything's doing great. But I did add compost, cow manure compost. I did add a 10-10-10 fertilizer because that's all they had at the store. And that's all I've been putting in this flower bed. So I'm very curious as to what the test results are going to be on this. So basically, you just go on to Penn State Extension and they have this form that you fill out. and it's Agricultural Analytical Services Laboratory through Pennsylvania State University, and their website is www.aasl.psu.edu. So that stands for Agricultural Analytical Services Laboratory, Pennsylvania State University.edu, obviously, education. And you just basically can fill this form out online, and then you check. They have a little checkbox that you can get the results emailed to you, which is better than snail mail. And I just fill out all the information. It's a 2-page sheet, and you see it has the crop code, which comes from the second sheet. I hope you can see it. I'm trying to hold this good. And the crop code I'm using is for a flower bed. Excuse me. The test is $9 for each sample, and you just have to pay for shipping, obviously, and ship it, and you make the check out to Penn State University, and you mail it to this agricultural address that's listed on the top of the form. And all you do when you're taking a soil sample test is, I bought this soil probe, and you can see it has like teeth on the end, and it's open in the middle. And I bought this on Amazon. I'm not a paid promoter. This is just what I bought for myself. But what I liked about it was, and they're not real expensive, it came with these little, soil sample bags. So all I'm going to do, and I just went around, I've already done a bunch of them, but I'm just going to show you. I just take the soil probe, and this is what I'm going to do. I just stick it right in the hole, and you just, hopefully I'm getting this. Am I showing the right way? God, I'm trying to hold the phone. I have something coming that's going to hold my phone on a tripod, so this won't be so bad anymore. All right, so basically, you just push. Now, it works better when you have 2 hands, but being that I'm holding the phone, and you just turn it back and forth because that helps loosen it so you can pull the probe back out. And you can see, voila, a pretty little soil sample. And then all I do is I go around the garden, and I take all the samples, and I put them in this bucket. And if I can get it out. And what you want to do is, oh God, is that hard? See, that's part clay right there. Jeez, that was hard to get out. And you just want to break that up because that's a nice clay-filled sample. And you just want to mix the whole thing around so that all the samples from the whole garden bed get mixed together. And then you're going to take out enough, put it under a covered porch on maybe like a flat cardboard box, and let it dry out overnight or however many days it takes, because if it's humid or it's been raining, it's going to take a little longer to dry out, but you just want to dry it out. Once it does, you take enough to fill, like, I don't know, I always do like a half a bag to 3/4 of a bag. I don't think you really need that much, but, you know, I figure, hey, more is more. So I fill that out once it's all, or I fill that in once it's all the soil's dried out. I mail it in to the extension office for $9, send them a check with the sample and the form that you have to fill out, and just pay for shipping. And you get your test results emailed back to you within 7 to 10 days, and it tells you exactly what you need to add. And I suggest getting your soil tested for once every spring for the first 3 springs. And then once your nutrient levels start to balance out, then maybe get it tested like once every 3 years or something like that. Especially if you think, you know, your plants aren't doing too great. But mine are doing great, and they're all young, so they're still just growing. But you can see my little catmint. I love my catmint. The deer do not touch it either. Look at how pretty those flowers are, and it's just going to get bigger as the season goes on, because it does die back down to the ground for the winter. But this is just so pretty. Look at those pretty periwinkle blue, purpley blue flowers. Love it. And it goes so nicely with the lime green, yellowy grass. But anyway, so everything else is there's still small plants growing in. So it takes 3 years for plants to get to maturity. So patience is key, my friends. Which I have none, but, you know, I don't have a choice, because you can't force them to grow faster than they already do or that they want to. So I wish I could talk to them and tell them, hey, grow a little faster for me, please. But yeah, no, not going to happen. And then my neighbors would think I'm crazy. Like, look at this loon tune in her yard talking to her plants. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. And you just let it dry out and then mail the dry sample in, and you get the results, and it tells you exactly what you need to add per square feet. My other garden bed in the back of my yard, the one that I got the soil test done on, it's like 325 square feet. So I'm getting that tested again this year, and I'm doing this garden bed for the first time this year. So I am very curious to see what the results are of both. So it's going to be interesting. But yep, so that's today's educational video. I feel like it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? That's my educational video for today. But anyway, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comments section. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me grow my channel. And if you're interested in hiring my design services, you can contact me at www.the-garden-whisperer.com. Again, it's www.the-garden-whisperer.com. And again, you can get the soil probe on Amazon. And I'm not a paid promoter, like I said, but this thing's great. I like that it's metal. I like that it has the open thing. You can see where the soil plug is, and you can push it out. And it's got the little teeth on the bottom, which is great. It helps get into hard soil. And it comes with the soil bags. So that is it. I may take one more sample over in the corner there by the rose. And yeah, we'll see from there. And see what the results are. When I get them back, I'll do another video. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. And until next time, have a happy day and happy gardening. Talk to you soon. Bye.